Of 1995, and Gao Wentai was reclaiming a piece of wasteland at a place called Jiangjialiang when he dug up a human skull. Although he felt somewhat disturbed by his find, he wanted to find out why it was there. As he continued digging, he unearthed a number of human bones. Who could have possibly buried a corpse in this place? Gao Wentai had grown up in this village, and he'd never heard of a graveyard around this spot. Was this the skeleton of a murder victim? Or had this place perhaps been a graveyard in ancient times? The next day, Gao reported his discovery to township government officials, and they in turn notified the Public Security Bureau. A little while later, 2 policemen followed Gao Wentai to the site where he'd found the bones. The policemen examined the spot carefully, and having excluded the possibility of murder, they speculated that the spot might have been a graveyard of some ancient people. They then reported the find to the Hebei Provincial Administration of Cultural Relics.
当时呢，我派李军带了几个技工到阳源、江家梁一带呢进行考古勘探。他们经过1个多月的勘察，发现那里的地下是熟土。所谓熟土层呢，就是指有人翻动过的土。我们考古主要就是靠判断土层的生熟，来确定呢地下是否有东西。根据勘察的情况，我们判断那下面呢应该是有东西的。但是究竟是什么？是灰坑还是墓葬？在没有发掘之前呢，我们还是非常难以准确地把握它。
Yangyuan County lies in the northwestern part of Hebei Province, adjoining Datong City in Shanxi Province to the west and Yuxian and Zhuolu counties to the southeast. The Sanggan River, which originates in Shanxi Province, runs through the Lihewan Basin from west to east and then joins the Huangdi River.
The Lihewan Basin is recognized as a cradle of human civilization. During the past 80 years, archaeologists have discovered evidence of more than 100 human settlements there, dating from the Paleolithic age. The question was just how old was the Jiangjialiang site?
In June of 1995, archaeologists from the Hebei Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology and the Faculty of Archaeology and Museology of Peking University began an excavation at Jiangjialiang. At the site, they drew lines from a point in the southwestern corner stretching to the east and north in a right angle, and then mapped out 16 square exploration pits measuring 10 by 10 meters. In effect, this meant that almost the entire Jiangjialiang site was to be excavated. Over the following few days, the team removed a layer of topsoil about 30 centimeters thick, and it was then they came upon a group of tombs arranged neatly in 5 rows from south to north. Each row had a different number of tombs, but they were all close to each other. There was a true sense of mystery about what had been uncovered. Most of the tombs were of the vertical pit in bare earth type and contained the remains of just one individual. In each case, the deceased had been laid on his or her back with the limbs bent, with the exception, that is, of the skeletons found in tomb M47. Tomb M47 yielded 3 human skeletons piled one upon the other. The fact that the 3 skeletons were in perfect condition indicated that the tomb had never been intruded upon. It also indicated that this was not the site of a reburial, and that the 3 deceased had been interred at the same time and laid facing upward with their limbs bent according to some strict requirement. Li Juan was puzzled by this.
江家梁墓地遗址非常独特，它有着极强的个性。像这么大规模的新石器时候墓葬群啊，在河北省还是首次发掘。所以我们在发掘墓葬和房屋遗址的时候啊，都格外小心，生怕疏漏掉了哪怕是隐藏在泥土里的一丁点细节。
One afternoon, the archaeologists had been working only a short while when technician Gao Wentai, working in tomb M75, found an object caked in soil about the size of a quail egg. It was found lying on the right side of the head of the tomb's occupant. After carefully removing the soil from the object, Gao Wentai still could not make out what it was. He asked Li Juan, the head of the archaeological team, to come over and take a look.
当时啊，我把上面的泥土搓掉以后啊，隐约看到一个很小的、很圆的一个造型。当我再搓掉，把泥土搓掉干净以后啊，马上在我面前显示出一个巨猪龙。
This jade carving of the pig dragon, now retained in the Hebei Provincial Museum, is cream in colour, 3.3 centimetres high and 2.6 centimetres wide. Its ears are raised high, its mouth protrudes forward, there are wrinkles in its snout carved in a taglio, and its body is curved to make its head face its tail. In the middle of the pig dragon is a carefully drilled hole, and behind its ear there is a smaller hole. Clearly, the craftsmanship of this jade carving is superb. But what does this pig dragon imply?
哎呀，这种东西对我们考古工作者来说是非常熟悉的。这是典型的红山文化的标志器物。
Hongshan culture was named after a site of a Neolithic age human settlement found at Hongshan by the Laoha River in Chufeng City in Mongolia. It dates back 5,000 years to the later period of Yangshao culture. The Niuheliang site in the Liaohe River Valley is a representative site of Hongshan culture. At the Niuheliang site, archaeologists found the remains of a large sacrificial temple and the statue of a goddess, important evidence of the development of humankind from a clan society toward a more civilized society. The most representative object of Hongshan culture is this jade carving of the dragon. Archaeologists have speculated that the jade dragon might have been the totem of people living in this region and the very source of the dragon culture of the Chinese nation. Based on his studies of many years, renowned Chinese archaeologist Su Bingqi came to the conclusion that the dragon was the totem of the clan that was led by Huangdi. Archaeological finds related to the clan led by Huangdi all show that they lived during the same period of Hongshan culture. However, this conclusion is worlds apart from the assertion found in historical records, claiming that the clan of Huangdi originated along the Wei Shui River in Shanxi province.
更加重要的是呢，就目前考古发现的诸多文化类型中，红山文化在中国文明起源中曾是遥遥领先。特别是玉猪龙的出现，它不仅可以揭示出中国文明的起源，而且对于了解黄帝时代的历史和文化也是意义重大。
The tomb marked M75 contains only one human skeleton, lying on its back, with its head turning to the right. The jade carving of the pig dragon was placed next to the neck of the deceased. According to the stature of the body and the state of the teeth, Li Juan was able to conclude that the deceased had been a woman of about 40 years of age. After Li Juan had gathered enough initial information about the tomb, he contacted Xie Fei to report the discovery.
我当时听到这个消息呢，十分的高兴。这一发现觉得非同小可。这说明呢，在距今5000年前后，张家口地区是属于红山文化圈的。如果红山文化正像苏秉琦先生所说的，是黄帝部族创造的文化，那么这就为黄帝占燕地与黄帝占蚩尤呢，找到了具有说服力的依据，也就接近了历史的真实。
The Zhangjialiang burial site not only yielded the jade pig dragon, but also several dozen pottery objects that were also typical of Hongshan culture. The archaeologists had been scouring the Sanggan River Valley in Hebei province for many years in hope of finding evidence of prehistoric settlements there. The Zhangjialiang site was a major discovery, particularly as it dated from around the time when Huangdi is supposed to have lived. Thank you for staying with us on today's New Frontiers. I'm Ji Xiaojun from CCTV International. Bye for now.